I watched this video about 50 times, and every single time I cried, so just bear with me. Before I even start with the organization, I just want to give a general idea of what's going on in Syria right now. You know, many of us just know people are dying, but I just want to give you a general idea of really the situation that every single person is facing in Syria right now. The latest statistics that come out are 43,000 people have been killed. 43,000. Now, there's 216,000 people detained. And when you think about detained, you're not just in a state penitentiary, you're not just in a jail. Syria is known to have one of the worst torture systems in the world. So if you end up in one of those jails, you wish you were dead. Let me tell you that. Now, winter is coming. These people do not have homes. From the beginning of the revolution, it was just sniping, it was kidnapping, it was just killing people on the streets who were protesting. There are now helicopters dropping TNT barrels onto houses indiscriminately. It's not just places who have Free Syrian Army, it's not places who just have protesters. Anyone who's breathing, you will be killed, you are a target. And so houses are really blown half apart. Houses are really shattered to the ground. The house that my mom lived in for 10 years, the city that my mom lived in for 10 years, it's just mountains of rubble. There's no houses left. And that's literally the situation in every single city in Syria. And so when winter's coming up, they don't have clothes. They have clothes on their back, that's it. They don't have heat because there's no electricity. There hasn't been electricity in Syria. They turn it off once in a while and you just don't have it. There's no warm water. And now they have no houses. One of my cousins lived in a one-bedroom house with 3 other families, and half their house is blown apart. So you just have gusts of air just coming in. And that's, besides the fear that you might get killed, that you're just sitting in your house and a bomb might fall on you. And the other thing is, there's no food, there's no shelter, and literally the clothes. The other day I saw a picture of kids in Idlib, one of the cities in Syria, and they were in line waiting for bread. And there was a little kid who had plastic bags wrapped around his leg, and they were tied around with a little string, because he didn't have shoes anymore. It was a little kid, he was like 7 years old. He didn't have shoes anymore. It's not rare. There was a picture up there of that little boy who didn't have hands anymore. I felt so everyone was holding their breath when he was talking. This is not rare. People are dying from simple injuries. People are getting their arms amputated from simple injuries because there's no medicine. If you get shrapnel on your arm, you get shrapnel on your leg is gone, your arm is gone. Because there's no medicine for them. There's barely any water. How do you even have band-aids for these people? And the regime has been kind of taking any kind of resources from these people. In Idlib, they burn down the trees, so you can't make fire anymore. That's just a simple thing. In Aleppo, they bomb bakeries. People are waiting in line for bakeries. They're not protesting, they're not armed, they're not doing anything. They're waiting in line to eat, and they bomb those bakeries. It's just simple examples that happen every single day in Syria. And if you keep up with the news, you'll see those bodies. And a lot of the news stations blur those bodies because of how graphic they are, because they're unbelievable. And so, just to get into the Syrian Orphan project, I take this, as a personal, it's just a personal thing to me. Because number one, orphans are so prized in Islam. Our Prophet ﷺ was an orphan. Multiple times in the Quran, orphans were mentioned with the captive, with the poor, with the needy. Multiple times orphans were mentioned. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever takes care of an orphan, you'll be this close to me in heaven. Isn't that our goal in life? To go to heaven and to be with the Prophet? It's written right in front of you. Take care of an orphan. Another hadith said, if you cut the head of an orphan, every single hair that you touch on an orphan is a hasanah. That's how prized orphans are in Islam. And so when you see kids like us who have lost their mothers and their fathers, it's our duty to help them because, they have no one left. And alhamdulillah, Muslims have this sense of hospitality always. So you would never let little kids starve on the street. You would always take them in. But Syria has come to the point where you can't even take care of your own family. You don't even have your own house to take care of someone else's child. And that's the reality of it right now. So for some statistics, the past year we've been working, and 230 kids have been sponsored until they're 18 years old. So these are little kids, babies, 2 or 3 years old, who have lost their parents and really have no one else looking for them. We sponsored 230 of them until they're 18 years old. So they're supported until they're 18 years old. And that is a total of $138,000 per year for each child. So that's a lot of money. And we've been fundraising for that. Another project we've been working on is getting Altria for this aid. We've been slaughtering labs for people in Syria because obviously there's no food in there, so we've been sending money to Turkey and they've been sending food into Syria, meat into Syria. And so this year we got 560 lambs to be slaughtered, sheep for Syria. Another project right now we're working on is we're working to get blankets for Syria. For Syrians in refugee camps and for Syrians inside Syria. The refugee camps are horrible. You know, we've gone to Syria, we've gone to refugee camps in Turkey, and the camps in Turkey, they're pretty good compared to the camps in Lebanon and the camps in Jordan. In Jordan, they're literally sitting in the desert. There's sandstorms every single day, and they're living through that. There's no electricity, there's no heat, there's no water, nothing. And so we've been trying to fundraise blankets for them, just so they have something between the cold air and their skin, something. And I just want to leave off with, everyone here is accountable for their money, everyone. A little kid outside, he was walking around, he looked like he was 6 years old. He had a nickel in his hand, and he kept walking back and forth, and he didn't know if he wanted to donate it, and it was so precious to him because it was a nickel, and it was the first nickel he had. And he came back, and he put it into the jar, and he ran away. And just that example, another day, I think for a little kid came up to me with a little bag of coins, and he gave it to me. These are for the kids of Syria. And that bag is heavy. It was a bunch of quarters, and my hand fell. And that was a 7-year-old kid. So any one of us, as little as we have, I'm a college student. I don't really have that much money besides my parents. Any money we have, $1, $1,000, $1 million, anything, give. It all matters in the end. And so Syrian Orphans, it takes $50 to sponsor an orphan for 1 month, as mentioned in the presentation, and it's $600 to sponsor an orphan for an entire year. So please take this into consideration, not just as an innate human need to help someone, but as a Muslim duty. These are orphans, and it's our Muslim duty to help them in any way we possibly can. Of course, to die is important, but to directly help them, please give your money.